Hey everyone, my name's Lane Rocks and you just tuned in to Rocks Manor. Alright, so here we are. I am right in the middle of week 5 of kids being home from school. So to me that's kind of like when the pandemic started, is when kids basically were sent home from school to continue their learning as of that. So that's kind of like what I'm gauging pandemic for us, even though I mentioned before that we had been tracking it, like what else was going on in the world as far as the news, but as far as like when it really hit our home as far as things changing was March 13th, which is a Friday, when the kids were sent home from school, with all of their stuff in preparation for a 2-week break that ended up being longer than that. So anyway, I don't know, in week 5 right now, I think my husband is in week 4 of being home as well, and honestly things are going pretty well here. I've said this to multiple people, including family at a distance, that we're lucky in the fact that we do have a good-sized home. We have a very nice backyard that's been fenced in. We have a deck that we put in this last fall, so we have options for going outside even though the parks are closed. And when it really comes down to it, I mean, the weather's been nice. There's been some rain. There was a pretty bad storm that I know tore up the south recently, but all it gave us was some heavy rains and winds, and then otherwise our lights flickered on and off a little bit. So really, as far as our home, Rocks Manor, we've really kind of been lucky. So I don't know what's going to be going on in the future, but I can tell you what's going on in the past, and this is something that I did something about 6 weeks ago, and I thought that by now I probably would have made a video about it, or at least talked about it in some aspect, but I really haven't. I haven't told anybody yet. So a little bit of background. When I was a kid, I really wanted a dollhouse, and I just never got a dollhouse, but what I ended up doing was creating dollhouses, or like dollhouse like items out of like cardboard and extra fabric, and like using a hot glue gun, and like little sewing small things and painting at my grandmother's house. So as I got older, I'd always said that I wanted to get a dollhouse, and I said once I had a daughter too, like, oh, this is kind of cool, because like eventually, she may or may not be into dolls, but it's kind of opened the door for me to relive something that I really wanted to live in my childhood. And basically, yeah, I mean, you could probably guess by now what I did. Surprise! Yeah, so I got this dollhouse. I don't have any dolls, but the idea is that I'll be able to kind of like, I don't know, do something cool with this. The interior is like this. So this is what I've always wanted in a dollhouse, something that I could have like little furniture in, not necessarily for playing, but for kind of like refurbishment and making cool things and curtains and painting. And I don't know, this was like, so yeah, this happened about 6 weeks ago. I saw it listed on Facebook Marketplace, and I met this lady like an hour away, and bought it off of her. Actually, I communicated with one when I went to pick it up. It was 2 gentlemen who brought it out, and I don't know, I'm pretty excited. The downside is that it's been like 6 weeks, and in the last 5.5 weeks now, obviously, family's been home nonstop, including small kids. And I mention the small kids because they did go to like a pre-K kind of thing, a Mother's Day out situation, a couple of days a week. So at least I got a couple of hours break of some sort, to get things done around the house. So anyway, so everybody's home on 24/7 right now. And this is a project I would have thought that I would have embarked on a couple of weeks ago, but in the meanwhile, I think it's about to go up to the attic, and not for any bad reason other than just in a creative sense. I don't feel the oomph to do anything with it right now, and that's not how I thought I was going to feel, but I don't know, like that's life right now. So oh, but wait, there's more. Hold on. Surprise! Yes, so the lady was actually selling 2 of them. So I bought both. I don't know, I made her an offer, and I even told her I wasn't trying to lowball anything. I didn't know how much these should go for. So I think, if I remember correctly, I'll pull it up, a screenshot, but I think it was $50 for both of them. And yeah, I don't know, let's see. Yep, there we go. So yeah, so there's this one too. This is like cheap little plastic, whatever. But yeah, there's 2 doll houses. I would actually say that the first one is probably more like my favorite, if there was a favorite to be had, but this one's pretty cool too. I don't know anything about doll houses, but since then I joined a bunch of Facebook groups to kind of like get some information and kind of like soak up some knowledge from people who were doing postings. And I don't know, I got really into this for like a week or 2 or 3 actually, and then it's like I don't know, I hate saying with everything going on, but with everything going on, I just kind of like, my mind's not in it. And it's really disappointing for me because in all these years, I'm 37 now, in all these years, like this was something I really wanted to do and something I really wanted to have. And I was excited when I found them, and I was excited when I went and got them and brought them back here. And I started looking at paper samples to put some artwork on the walls, and like kind of looking at paints that I had and doing some research online. And it was just kind of like, the last month or so, it's just been kind of like it's not a whirlwind, but it's like some really slow moving whirlpool that I just kind of feel like the creative energy is kind of sucked out of me. So that being said, as far as creativity goes, I have kind of had this odd sense of like wanting to create, but it's been kind of like weird random things. Like for example, I had bought these little wooden dinosaurs and from the Easter eggs that we did. And so I kind of had this process of like, I don't know, dyeing these dinosaurs late one night. And I don't know, like, are you a creative person and you kind of have these like weird projects that end up like bubbling themselves up into your life? 'Cause that's kind of how it felt to me. This is something very strategic that I had wanted to have for a long time, you know, a dollhouse, and this is something I was very excited about. But it's kind of like, I don't want to think it's buyer's remorse because it wasn't something that was expensive or something that I haven't wanted for a long time. But it was more like, I guess kind of like just the feeling of getting it. Then in combination with everything kind of being turned upside down right now, it's just not a project that I really want to even mess with right now. So I did go up to the attic this last week, and I pulled down 2 boxes, as a matter of fact, that's full of fabric, right, for masks, hopefully to make here soon. And so it gave me 2 shelves. It's like some nice space up there to put one, if not both of these dollhouses, at least for a couple of weeks. For one, just to get them out of my office, but for 2, I mean, they take up a lot of space, right? So to get them out of my office, but also just kind of get them out of sight, out of mind right now, because it's like I'm looking at them like they're a project that I'm just not really ready to embark on yet. And that's just not really what I saw happening when I got them. So we'll see what ends up happening with these soon. Oh, but wait, there's more. Hold on. No, I'm kidding. It's not a third house. Hold on. All right, so in this box that actually came with it, there's a whole lot of furniture already in here, right? And some of it's kind of cool, little furniture. Oh, this is a stove. Looks like somebody made it. Yeah. Some of it is cool little furniture, little rocking chair. We got an armoire. This looks like a standing shelf. And then some of it is, let's see, like this. Somebody made this. This is like something I would have made when I was a kid. These are also items like this, right? So I just mentioned it's kind of like a little cheap plastic, like a Play School or Mattel or something, Fisher Price, as a matter of fact. So when I went and picked it up, the guys told me, because again, it was these 2 guys that brought this stuff out to me, which, by the way, didn't realize how big they were at all. Did not realize how big they were. When the guys brought them out to me to the car, they were like, yeah, our kids had played with these, or the guy's daughter had been playing with them for a long time, and it was just, I guess they were moving and it's time to get rid of them. So I own them now. So hopefully this is going to be something that's a little more exciting. Yeah, I don't know. I was really excited about getting these all houses. Now I'm just kind of meh, and they're going to go up to the attic, and I think it just has to do with timing right now. It was a project that I was looking forward to embarking on, and then right now it's a project I'm just kind of looking to shelve. In the meanwhile, because there's so much kind of going on, I feel like my office isn't a place of tranquility, which it had been for a while, and looking at these, it's just, I don't know, they're just kind of irking me more than they're bringing me like happiness. So we'll see. I'll go up to the attic for a little bit, and yeah. So tell me about you. Is there any kind of projects that you've been embarking on, or something that you've wanted for a long time that you went ahead and got and you were happy about? Or like me, has the timing just been kind of weird with everything that's going on, and you're not feeling as creative as you were? Whatever you got going on, let me know down in the comments. Thank you for tuning into the video, and otherwise, I guess I will talk to you guys later.